Summertime had arrived, and with it came masses of holiday makers. The engines were all busy showing the visitors the wonderful sights of Sodor. One day the Fat Controller arrived at Tidmouth Sheds. "You've all been working very hard," he said. "The visitors are enjoying their journeys, and everyone agrees my engines are splendid." The engines were proud and pleased. "Now then," continued the Fat Controller, "a special Visitors Express has been commissioned, and I need one of you to pull it while Gordon is at the works." "Can Henrietta and I do it, sir?" asked Toby. "Sorry, Toby," said the Fat Controller, "but Henrietta cannot carry all those passengers alone." Then he turned to Henry. "Henry, you can do it."
"Oh, thank you, sir," smiled Henry.
"Toby, you'll have to do Henry's goods work."
"Yes, sir,"
sighed Toby. Toby felt terribly disappointed.
"I still say Henrietta and I could have managed," he wished.
"Rubbish! The Fat Controller obviously wanted an engine like me," Henry boasted, "not a steam tram. And I certainly wouldn't want to take visitors in that old crate of yours." Toby looked hurt. "Don't mind him," tooted Thomas. "We all know that you're as strong as Edward. Remember that time you pushed Gordon up his hill?"
"I suppose. But it would be nice to prove to Henry that I can handle an express."
Toby clanked away to the yard to find his trucks. He soon shunted them and was coupled up. Then he set off sadly for the quarry. Meanwhile, Henry was making excellent time with the Special Express. He showed the visitors many magnificent sights along the main line. Mavis was glad to see Toby when he arrived. She had been waiting for the empty trucks. "Oh, thank you," she smiled. Bill and Ben were pleased too.
"Thank you, Toby," they called. "Now we can finish our job," added Bill.
Next, Toby made his way to Brendam Docks to help Salty. On his way, he saw Henry again. He didn't look so cheerful now. "What's up with you?" asked Toby.
"I've locked my pistons," he groaned, "and what a time to do it. The visitors will be late back to Knapford Station, and will surely miss their trains home."
Now Toby felt sorry for Henry. It was then that he had a good idea.
"I could take the train," he chuffed.
"We can't," reminded his driver. "We don't have permission from the Fat Controller, and Salty can't manage alone."
"But we've got to do something," said Toby. "We can't just leave the passengers and Henry stranded."
"We'll get help from the other engines," replied his driver.
"Don't worry, Henry," called Toby. "I'll be as quick as I can."
"I hope so," sighed Henry. So Toby hurried to the shunting yard. He spotted Thomas taking Annie and Clarabelle to the carriage shed.
"Thomas," Toby called, "I need your help."
"What's the matter?" asked Thomas.
"It's Henry," he cried, and told Thomas about what had happened.
"No problem," Thomas whistled. "I'll get the passengers to Knapford on time." And he steamed away to find Henry. In no time, Toby was approaching Brendam Docks. Salty dieselled towards him with a flatbed of pistons.
"Where are you going with those?" inquired Toby. "I'm going to Crovan's Gate," Salty told him. "The ship has been caught in high winds and won't arrive till tomorrow."
Toby then told Salty about Henry.
"I'm on me way, matey,"
cried Salty, and he went to help Henry too. At Knapford, the Fat Controller looked impatiently at his watch.
"Where on earth is Henry?" he wondered. "He should be back by now."
Then everything seemed to happen suddenly. There was Thomas racing into the station, whistling urgently. "I hope I'm not too late," he panted. The Fat Controller was puzzled.
"Too late for what?" he asked.
Thomas then told him about Henry. The Fat Controller started to smile.
"I can honestly say that you're right on time," he boomed. "And Toby has done a grand job sorting things out. I shall send Edward to take Henry to the works for a service."
Later, Toby returned to Henry's siding.
"Thank you for all you did," said Henry. "You're a really useful tram engine after all."
"Now you understand just as James and Gordon did," chuckled Toby. Oh, by the way, Edward will be here soon to collect you. That's good, smiled Henry. I think I need a good looking over. Could you take the coaches away? Henry's driver asked. Certainly, agreed Toby's driver. Henry was concerned. Are you sure you can manage those? He asked. Even with no passengers aboard, they're still very heavy. If I can help someone as big as Gordon up a hill, Toby puffed confidently, then I can certainly pull empty coaches. And so Toby was coupled up to the empty express. He struggled at first, but with all his puff, he pulled the first coach. Then the second. And finally, the brake coach started to move. Henry was very impressed. Well done, Toby, he cheered. Toby puffed all the way back to the carriage shed. After that, none of the mainline engines ever dared to tease Toby again. I think they knew that, even for a steam tram, he could give any engine a run for its money.